It's Tuesday morning, it's frosty, it's like 10 to 5 in the morning, and it's ridiculous. We've got to go to Oxford, it's going to take an hour. I'll see you there. This time I have got myself, I've got some decent coffee in the cafetiere. So yeah, I don't need to stop at the garage and get anything. And is it possible to get anything at this time of the morning in the garage? Anyway, they won't let you in before 6 o'clock. So yeah, let's go to Oxford and drink some coffee before we go. It's crazy. Right, see you on the other side. Bye. Okay, so here we are back on the job, working for the Emperor. Yes, the Emperor from Star Wars, aka Jasper the Emperor. Yeah, these videos are all be called the Death Star plastering, I think, so they can be associated. So this is kind of day 2 of this week that I'm doing here, which is a long drive away from where I live. It's an hour and it's a hard drive as well. It's you know, it's full speed all the way up to the last 10 minutes. So it's on that Shogun Sport, it's not the most economic drive at all. It drinks my fuel as it's not designed for thrashing it up and down motorways. Anyway, so the options I have today, Ash is saying, do I want to scratch, or there's some tricky beading to be done. And it's really cold this morning, so you're either going to keep warm and do the harder work, which is scratching, or be cold and be fiddling around with some beads. Now the issue we got is this damp course at the top is overflapping, but the specification is to leave some of that on there. So what we need to do is trim some of it off. See, it's all across the top of the coping stones all the way up here, and they want us to put a stop bead up against the coping stones, and we need to stick the bead. So what we're going to trim down some of that damp course that's hanging over, cut it in half if you like. Then we're going to drill and fix it with washers so it's not flapping around. Then we need to stick the stop bead over the top of it. So yeah, like I say, it's frosty this morning, so I'm going to need to put some gloves on, I think, and big thick gloves and fiddly beads and stuff don't go together either, do they? Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot to moan about if you wish to today, or you can just take a moment, look at the lovely blossom coming off. I don't know what type of tree that is, and the sun is just coming through these pines over here. Isn't that a beautiful scene to behold? Right, get some gloves on, shall we? Oh, there's another beautiful thing to behold. Should not have made this bargain with the Emperor, methinks. Do you know what, I always feel sorry for scaffolders, you know. In the summer, these poles are roasting hot. In the winter, they are absolutely freezing cold. I just climbed up the ladder and stuff, and you know, you don't want to touch them. My hands are freezing already. So it is quite a tall scaffold. The only access is over there. Yeah, we're pretty high up here. So yeah, looking at this, so this has been rubber roofed. So it looks like the rubber goes up and over and under the coping stones. So this must be why they don't want this to be cut off too much, and they want some sort of overhang. So yeah. Also as well, climbing on this rubber stuff, look, when it's frosty like this, is dangerous as anything. That is like an ice rink. Right, so I'm going to lay down on the floor and I'm going to trim off this excess up here, look. So this stuff is actually quite thick and takes quite a bit of cutting. I'm trying to hold the phone and do it with one hand. Laying down on the frosty planks. figured since we was here, we might as well come right up to the top, show you what it looks like here in Oxfordshire, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, where nobody can hear you scream. So these kind of like spring-loaded doors, wherever your access ladders are, although that spring's not working very well. It's quite a new thing. I don't, obviously health and safety, but I don't know actually how safe it makes things. I mean, this one's quite sticky, but quite often they're really quite sprung loaded, and it feels like when you're trying to get on the ladder, it wants to actually catapult you off of the scaffold. Look. He doesn't get out, he wants to fire you off. Ashley and Chris down there putting cheap beads up that they're not happy with.
Curls at the end.
Nobody likes a curl at the end.
Not when you're trying to do a straight bit, no.
Okay, so this product is the Rend Aid, is it? What is it? The Decor Rend, is it?
Decor Rend.
Decor Rend.
Ultra base.
So this is a one coat render, yeah?
It's a one coat render system. We're giving it one thick coat, like so. As even as possible. Then we are going to use this Ox Speed Skim serrated blade to flatten it out. Don't have to be too precise, but we're just trying to take out a few undulations as we go. And then we shall be applying some mesh, like so, making sure that we get it
up over onto that lip. That's the one. Nice and tight, yeah.
Underneath the coping stones, nice onto the bead, just back, making sure that we're catching the webbing all the way down. And then we normally go with the palm tree technique, which is straight down the middle and out to the sides.
Oh, lovely.
The way we do this is
that should really be the finish, I think.
Any wrinkling of the mesh when you're trying to flatten off, and then just a quick push through, and if we've done it correctly enough, it should just finish off.
Lovely.
Absolutely lovely. And then anywhere required, we just, a little bit of extra gear, we just fill into the bead and all the way round.
Cool. You're a natural, Ash. You should have your own YouTube channel.
No, thank you. I'm far too busy to be filming YouTube content, unfortunately. I do have an Instagram.
Yeah. Do you want to plug it whilst you're on here?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
I was thinking about that then.
Helios and the Sun Chariot are in full flight, and thank goodness for that. Not soon enough it was. Okay, so I've been pulled off of trimming all that stuff around the tops underneath the coping stones. Ash and Chris up there putting the scratch coat and the mesh in, and Jasper wants me to help him come down here and do this. And now let's see how he's been doing it. Looks like he's been pinning them straight with dry balls and then getting some sort of adhesive. Sticks all extreme power glue to glue them on. So looks like this is what we're doing next. Oh, the English weather really is like a box of chocolates, isn't it? It's actually quite warm now. Okay, so let's have a look what's going on here. We've got to bead up this door. We're using plastic beads, as you saw earlier, and they really are quite flimsy things. And these ones in particular are quite difficult to cut with your tin snips because they're a little bit brittle and they can snap quite easily. So we've got these things going on up here. That's what they are. These are called bleed holes, and they're supposed to allow moisture to drip out above the doors and windows and stuff, and I think that's just where, oh no, they're all the way along there, so you need to kind of keep them. So what they've come up with these days, because they're really easily lost now, these are specific for this. As I said, they are quite easily lost. That one's a little bit loose, should be better, so you know, just stick your straw in there and trim it off. I'm probably going to lose this. I've lost it. So, I'm going to have to go down and get that now. Let's try and do it with one hand and film. So, oh, the whole thing's come out. Oh. Always, it will be alright on the night, they say. So what happens when you're filming. So, when this bead goes up, obviously it's going to go up, and we need to trim out all these bleed holes into the bead as well. So, there's a few moments of fun there. Right, I'm going to go down and pick up that stuff I just dropped. So there we go, we're all in and snipped out. All we've got to do now is stick it, and it quite conveniently just slides in just above the door there, look. That's the door, look. I'm being pulled backwards and forwards to areas, so here that they put these false windows in to make it look like it was built in the time, well I guess it was, this has been really redone, this building. I don't know exactly how old it is, but these blocks are all new, but they had the old ones off, they put an outside skin on it. Anyway, these have been put in to look like the false windows when window tax was in, so a bit of a pain because we've got to trim all the beads down to suit. Actually not a cloud in the sky. It actually looks pretty pleasant, doesn't it? So I haven't seen any, but I've been hearing a lot of Chinook helicopters going over today. I noticed there was one when I was staying here the other week. I went over, but I didn't have my camera on me. But, I don't know, is it just me? But whenever I see a Chinook helicopter, I always have the sense of some sort of pending zombie apocalypse about to happen. Time to stick it. It's very quiet and tranquil here today. There's only a couple of us on site. It's me, Jasper the Emperor, Ashley and Chris, and then the Bricky and the Bobcat driver, and the two owners. Chinook, just make him out. On top of the line of those trees. Oh, I've had to do it. Legs are out. You're jealous of my legs, aren't you, Ash?
I am indeed. Is that the first time we're getting them out?
Yeah. It's a momentous day of the year. The first day you get your legs out.
Mine are coming.
Okay, being a plastering channel, I guess we really should start talking a little bit more about plastering than helicopters and whatever else I've been talking about today. It's just been a bit of a slow day, to be honest with you, because all I've been doing all day long is beading up. Although Jasper's been doing all the plinth and everything, I've been doing all the boring windows and the doors because I haven't even asked, but I doubt I'm allowed to touch the plinth. But he does like to make a good job of things. It's all looking good. So what we are sticking the beads up is we are using this stuff to stick the beads up, and it kind of comes back to life with a little bit of movement, but we're using Styro, Top J, KSG, whatever these newfangled products they've got out these days. And another thing to add as well, I mean, I've just got this bead up and it was a little bit baggy in a couple of areas, so I had to, because of the brickwork, it was a little bit deep, so I've had to fill in here. But I'm just about to stick the bead on this one, and you know, back in the day, quite often you'll get a guy in here to stick a couple of blobs here, a couple of blobs here, a couple of blobs here, and have massive great big spaces of emptiness, a void behind the bead. I find it much more beneficial to load the whole corner up like this, although I've had a little bit of trouble on this side because there's only a very small amount of reveal that we can get onto, but the bead's going to come up and hit this door frame, so I know it's going to be regulated to the door. I've just got to get up there and fill that last bit. But yeah, when you fill the whole corner like this, it's much easier to get it straight. And So you push your bead in and get your trowel both sides, and I gotta admit, very often, as long as the brickwork's really good, you're not far away for, if you need to, get your level, your straight edge up there. And yeah, you'll be surprised when it's all spaced out like that. You know, you haven't got enough grip to pull it in certain areas. So yeah, I recommend loading up the whole corner to put your bead on, especially when they're as flimsy as these plastic things. So there we go, with that whole bead loaded up. Let's just change hands here a second. And we're looking pretty good all the way up and down, and this way as well. Yeah, and I'm quite comfortable that that's being held nice and securely and in line with that frame. Normally, you know, you'd be surprised how quick you start getting through jobs, but this is taking forever. There's so many beads. There's 4 of us on it. 4 of us.
Just going.
Yeah.
Alright, just need to put that machine by your van.
Okay, right, I'll move out now. Right, let's get out of here. No, for one, I've had enough today. Hi guys, how you doing? Thanks for watching that video. It's a bit of a strange one, I know. It's we're doing it like it's a diary, so yeah, we're a bit limited. If you was expecting something a little bit more informative, I do apologise. It wasn't very informative as far as plastering is concerned, but if you are looking for something more like that, then do have a look at the rest of the playlist, Plaster Master Smurf 74, because there's loads on there now. Alternatively, do come over to the Facebook group, which is called the same, Plaster Master Smurf 74, and you can yeah, join that group or follow it, whatever, and you can chat to me and some other plasters on there. Incidentally, I did actually catch Ashley taking his trousers off and revealing his legs, and I repeated the same thing, but in my rush to record him getting his legs out, I accidentally didn't push the record button, so I didn't capture it. A bit like the epic proportions of plastering video when I almost caught those deer majestically prancing through the grounds of that property, and I've got to admit, I'm probably a little bit more upset that I didn't get Ashley's gracious legs on camera rather than those gracious deer prancing. But we're in tomorrow. The Emperor isn't in tomorrow, so I've got to pick Ashley up, and I will try again, I promise. And I reckon if it's a nice day, we could get a nice glimpse of Ashley's legs. So with that being said, you know, subscribe, like, otherwise you're gonna miss it. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, which should be tomorrow. So what's the day today? It's Tuesday, so yeah, I'm editing this tonight as we speak, so you'll be watching this tomorrow. Alright guys, see you later.